Hey, what's up? It's me, Paul. I'm at ComplexCon.
Now, before we get started, let's talk about where we are. We're in Vegas because this year's ComplexCon is in Vegas. I'm sporting the Air Force One Paranoise 3.0s. They're notable because as I wear them, they wear away and lead to a different design. They're pretty cool. Now, in case you didn't know this about me, before I went fully freelance, I worked at Complex for like 6 years. Not including this ComplexCon, I've either been to or worked on about 6 ComplexCons. The folks that work on it, the people that attend, and the vendors that are there all get together to make what ComplexCon is. But say you don't know what Complex is. What is ComplexCon?
Most people know what a Comic-Con is, right? A giant convention that relates to comics.
Culture, streetwear, sneakers, and art. Oh, of course, music too. Music as well.
Anything that you like to listen to, eat, wear, this is the place you want to be to get it.
ComplexCon is one of a kind, it's one of none. There wasn't really something like this out there, for all the fans worldwide and streetwear culture and fashion culture to come together and just, conglomerate together and collab. As you can see, there's like hundreds of collabs and influencers. You got every type of people here. And that doesn't happen at every other convention, You have like other trade shows in the past that just kind of focus on like, the buying and selling aspect, wholesale aspect. But this is just something you could just come chill. You could buy your favorite collab. You can meet people, network. There's no set agenda when coming to ComplexCon. It's too complex to be a con.
This one is actually like way big, the biggest one that we've had so far. So many, like a lot more people, a lot more booths, a lot more experiences. So that is what stood out to me.
And I'm not gonna lie, I think Alejandro was actually fiercely accurate with that statement. The Las Vegas Convention Center where this is happening is 2.5 million square feet. That's bonkers, because Long Beach, where they usually have it, or have had it in the past, is about 400,000 square feet. So this is a little over 5 to 6 times the size of the normal ComplexCon. Now, one of my favorite things to do at ComplexCon is to go around and chat with people about their brands.
Hey, what's going on? I'm Matthew with Mouvet Garçon. I'm in Varsity Los Angeles booth. We have a little pop-up going at ComplexCon. We just decided to hop on a plane, fly to Las Vegas, and put a lot of our clothes in a trash can. That's just kind of all that we have going on today. Everything we do is mental health related. So our first piece of clothing was a screen print about calling a loved one. We still do the design. It's like part of our DNA. And it's just about picking up the phone and calling a loved one. The shirt's about failure being okay. A lot of people struggle with doing things because they're afraid to fail. But failure is cool, and it's a part of whatever you're trying to do.
That's all solid advice, and not for nothing, I really enjoyed their designs. ComplexCon is filled with the unexpected. Like, this booth was giving away hot dogs with the purchase of anything. This booth was just a single Alexander Wang purse. I didn't even find out till later that if you scanned that QR code, it told you could possibly win this purse for free if you went to the Alexander Wang store. Now, technically, Travis Scott was the creative director of this entire thing, and let's just say his presence was very monolithic. Nike and Travis really showed up in a very big way, but not so much that it was overbearing.
I think the coolest thing I see is the collaboration between Complex and Travis Scott for this event. I think when you often give celebrities a platform to promote their own brand, it can kind of oversaturate and take away from everything else. But I think there's a beautiful balance of like individualism between brands, Travis Scott doing his thing, and Complex staying Complex, which is good to see.
And I'd agree with that. I mean, Nike literally had a temple that was the size of a small grocery store that just showcased Travis Scott's sneakers. But even though this huge thing was just in the middle of everything, it also didn't overpower everything else because there was 2.5 million square feet in this place. A lot of the clothing here I either completely loved or totally hated. And regardless, I would say my reaction to all this stuff was
visceral.
I think so much of the fashion and design at ComplexCon teeters on the borderline of art. Most of the stuff you're going to see here is on the bleeding edge of streetwear. It reminds me of the scene in Devil Wears Prada where Miranda's character tells Andy's character that all the decisions they're making here, no matter how minute, will eventually trickle its way down all the way down to like Target. It may take like 2 to 3 years for it to get there, but fashion will cycle out by that point anyways. For me, it's just cool to see all this stuff, regardless of whether or not I would wear it. It's like art. It just makes me feel something, you know? This booth was really cool. These guys are all from DC, and they actually opened up a pop-up shop in Tokyo that just ended up becoming just a full-time shop because it did so well. There's also a lot of philanthropy and activism here too. This is a Nike charity.
This is the Dornbecker Freestyle 20 booth here at ComplexCon. If you're not familiar, this is a children's hospital in the Portland area. For 20 years, patient designers have been creating shoes with Nike. So every year, 6 kids make their own shoes. This is what we have on display here. Right now, we have an auction that has over 50 pairs available from the 20-year history and limited edition t-shirts to celebrate the 20-year history of Dornbecker Freestyle. So it's all for a great cause. All the money goes back to OHSU.
I'm a sucker for a PlayStation reference. Let's get into this guy.
What's up, guys? My name is Dennis, aka Sneaker Den on Instagram, and I got a brand called Outsole, where we tell the stories of sneaker culture. So every collection is based around a specific chapter of sneaker history. This collection is based on this iconic sneaker, which we all know and love, PlayStation Air Force One. And yeah, so we created a clothing collection inspired from that colorway, referencing it in a subtle way. Yeah, and we're here at ComplexCon. So I started like 3 years ago. My main thing is vintage sneaker reselling. I started the brand 3 years ago, took a break from it because I wasn't like fully focused on it, and I brought it back this year seriously. So now we've been, fully here for like 6 months, like active.
Yeah, why'd you go with these sneakers on the wall?
So these are all PlayStation sneakers. So PlayStation Air Force One 2006, that was the 2009 retro of the sample. So both of them are FNF samples, but they're different versions. That's a released pair from 2018, PlayStation as well. And these are some like either nickname PlayStation Nikes or actual collabs. So these are Hirachis with like official PlayStation, So yeah, just to complete kind of the storytelling around the collection. And then just some sneakers from my archive, some grails, some affordable vintage kicks, a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so my name is Willie and I'm the CEO and lead designer of the brand.
My name is Monica, Willie's fiance, and here and there I do creative direction for the brand.
The inspiration was basically a way to rebel against societal norms of what female clothing should look like. And being a female designer, primarily unisex clothing, it's a little unorthodox. So the collections that I drop speak to different phases of my life, hence the name Phase.
The brand is technically based out of Rhode Island. We're both native to Rhode Island, so that's where we're based right now.
Cool. I live in Connecticut, so
Okay.
Listen, there's cool things going on in New England. What are you doing here at ComplexCon?
Yeah, so we're here bringing luxury streetwear to ComplexCon for the first time, at least for the brand at least. I'd say like the best item that we have is the varsity jacket. Yeah, Letterman jackets are personal to me, going back to like the 90s. And then I took the Las Vegas sign and recreated it, and it's what we got. It's special for ComplexCon in Vegas.
ComplexCon isn't just clothing. This booth was pretty interesting to me. Like all of the things in here were basically speakers.
Hey, so we are mobile. We have a lot of technology and our products. So here at our booth on the left side, we have a lot of speakers. So for example, the Gorilla over there is a speaker. And we also have our signature Nebula here. On the right side, we have a lot of lifestyle and sculptures because a lot of our inspiration was actually from NASA and space exploration.
The speakers all sounded good, but I can't really do a live demo without getting a copyright strike. But I'm a sucker for a speaker that isn't shaped exactly like a speaker. Cool stuff for sure.
What's the word, y'all? I'm Clip. The name of the brand is Rhyme. A lot of people's goals when it comes to ComplexCon is like, oh, let's get sales. But for us, it's more of doing groundwork and connecting with the community that builds us, meeting more people that are creators and creatives, First of all, this crimson red sparkly joint, this is the ComplexCon exclusive. But the shoe is like a play on, you haven't seen our shoebox, but it's like a big egg carton container, you know what I mean? And if you peep the toe box, it's like cracked like an egg, and they're called astropods. So it's like the theme is the shoes came from outer space, crash landed on Earth, and they spawned and came out of their shells and now exist here,
Now, you can spend a lot of money at ComplexCon, but not everything costs money. There's a lot of branded activations where they give away things and experiences for free. This was a call game giving away some Echo Wave Crocs. Unfortunately, I lost pretty hard here.
My name is Darian. The brand is D-Brews. I've been doing this about 12 years. I started off just making the t-shirt at the mall. All of my friends loved it. I put it on Instagram and it just blew up from there. So yeah, as you can see, mainly the brand is just whatever I liked as a kid, basically. Anything that inspired me, pop culture, anime, movies, hip hop. You see, it could range from anything from a MF Doom shirt to a Sailor Moon shirt. It's just there's no box to the range of interests I have. Unfortunately for me, I like everything, so I get inspired by everything. So I have to make something out of it, just to scratch that itch. But yeah, I've been doing this 12 years, man, and this is what I love to do. The love has never faded for me. I did the first ComplexCon, and it was cool. It wasn't quite out there yet. They invited me back this year, so now I'm here just doing this. Yeah, man, I'm excited to be back out here and talking to people directly, you know what I mean?
Full transparency, that guy's booth was one of the first ones I went to, and by the time I came back around, all of his stuff was sold out in my size. Great booth. I'm not actually 100% sure whose booth this was. All I know is it said Satoshi Nakamoto, which is the pseudonym for people who develop Bitcoin, and it had this cage of death. It was awesome. It's hard to really capture on film, but this type of crazy thing isn't really like an event. This is just a thing that was happening every, couple of minutes. And yeah, that's ComplexCon. Wild things happening everywhere all the time, all at once.
Today we are debuting our collaboration with Sega, Sonic the Hedgehog, celebrating obviously the iconic Sonic, but also Shadow. It's a year of Shadow and Fearless, so we're just happy to be here at our 5th ComplexCon, an honor, and also to bring this type of energy and IP to something so monumental for the culture. So just happy to be here. It's like the modern day World's Fair. You have the great art, music, food, culture, and under one roof, and it's really about community, and that's my favorite part. It's like we wouldn't be doing what we do without community. Life wouldn't move on without community, so I think it's really important. My first ComplexCon, I was working the cash register for Just Don, Don C's brand, and the family let me experience that, and from there, I just moved back to Chicago from LA and then started to pursue art full time. Art's been my passion, so be able to create work and reimagine things and be able to work with these brands I've always dreamed about, it's been an honor, so happy to be here. One, this collaboration's awesome, but
if you could do a dream collaboration, IP be damned, who would you collaborate with?
Man, Mickey Mouse. I'm a big Disney fan, huge Disney fan, so one day, I'm speaking that into existence now.
I can't say enough nice things about Luis de Guzman. Super nice guy, very talented artist, and if his sculptures were just a little bit smaller, I would have put him in my carry-on. There were also a ton of very established brands too. I know what Pleasures is, but I don't typically wear Pleasures. Not because I have anything against it, but it was really neat to see some of the things that they were doing. They had this Downloads collaboration, which was all about Sony handycams and, tangible media. But all I wanted to do was just steal this camera. What was extra funny is later at the Playboi Carti concert, I saw somebody with this exact camera, and they were using some sort of external recording device to get the best possible picture out of this interestingly form-factored camera. I didn't steal it because stealing is wrong, but you can get these types of cameras for about $100 on eBay. I'm going to be looking extra hard at thrift stores though. The actual design collaboration was really cool though. I'm going to keep an eye on this Downloads brand. It's really cool when a bigger brand collaborates with a smaller brand, and Pleasures was doing this all over the place. Another collaboration that Pleasures was doing was a Fortnite one. Now, typically speaking, I have nothing against Fortnite, but I don't know if I'd just be outside wearing a Fortnite shirt. But these designs, at first, didn't even know they were Fortnite, but then when I looked a little bit closer, I thought they were really, really well done. I love video games, but not a lot of video game collaborations come together into a brand that looks really cool to wear just on its own. By this point, I had bought so many things, and I was carrying a huge bag of stuff, and I was super thirsty, and I was thinking, you know what, it's time to eat something. But then I saw this Pikachu walk by, which was just the highlight of the day. There he goes. Now, back in the day when Complex and First We Feast were a part of the same company, the First We Feast that makes Hot Ones, this outdoor area used to be put on by First We Feast. Now it's called Family Style, which was originally owned by Bobby and Ben Hundreds of the Hundreds. I'm sure you wanted to know all that corporate jargon, but now this is all owned by Complex. This group was giving away free hydration drinks, so it's more like a Pocari Sweat or like a Gatorade. Tasty, 10 out of 10. Would drink it again just for the box. I was super hungry and this place had the shortest line. Not the best way to choose what you're gonna eat, but everybody in there was wearing Headley and Bennett, which is just a really nice apron. And I was like, you know what, if they're wearing those nice aprons, the food's not too bad. I got these jelly donuts, a chicken pop, and some fries. You know, for being food that's just a collaboration of an anime, not bad. Actually pretty darn good. This was another thing that I thought was really cool. There was a convention within the convention. If you are into vintage and thrifting, they had ThriftCon within the con. So like they took all of the vintage and thrifting related vendors and put them in like a small area. Small is also a relative term. There was about 10,000 square feet of area roped off for people to just do this. They also had these little figurines that were made by a group called Pop Mart. Now in the past they've sent me some stuff, but these are just little like art figurines that are like sad, creepy, weird, but fun and cool characters. There were a couple of times where I saw something through the corner of my eye and then it was like on the other side of a fence that I couldn't get through, and then I just really wanted to go into something. The name of this brand is Stuff, with 3 S's and 3 F's. Their booth was set up to look like a doggy daycare, and it was really weird and wild and I loved it. I really liked all their clothing, it really felt like guerrilla art. I found the stories behind their clothing as interesting as the clothing itself.
Marshmallows gone missing. I live in Barcelona, marshmallows with my mom's in the UK. I am missing marshmallow lots.
Oh, Betty.
So, I told you she's the light of my life. I'm lying and dying, guys. She is the light of my life.
This all felt like I was in a contemporary art museum and I just loved it. They were giving away hats for free and I ended up getting this one, and it might be one of my favorite things I went away with from ComplexCon. I'm from Ohio, so you know I gotta support the Midwest.
So this is actually our first in-person selling experience. Before this, we were strictly direct-to-consumer. So this was just an opportunity for us to get in front of people and kind of see what people are leaning towards when they're shopping around.
Cool. How has the reaction been?
It's been really cool. Like a lot of the pieces that like we actually put that much time and effort to, they're really going towards those. Like our zip-up hoodies have sold really good for us so far, and that was like a piece that we took a lot of time making with really good materials and everything like that.
Yeah.
People buy because of people. It's like Kid sells because of Ronnie, Supreme, you know what I mean? So like once you put a face behind it, it helps your brand a ton. So having like a personal brand and building that, scaling that into like a bigger brand, that helps a ton for your brand.
So wait, is this you too?
Yeah, it's also us, yeah.
Well, tell me a little bit about that too.
So we do a ton of licensing agreements with nostalgic brands. That's kind of our thing. So we have Dum Dums. We've done Corduroy the Bear, the Berenstein Bears. We recently got I Spy, the book from back in the day. Magic School Bus, and a few others that I can't think of on top of my head, but brands like that.
What'd you do with I Spy?
We created a really cool collection. We like kind of redesigned their logo. We didn't redesign it, but we kind of flipped it into something that was more us.
Yeah.
And we did a few other shorts that like had entire pages of the book on there. Yeah. It was a really fun collection. They were really cool to work with. We actually have that deal for a few more years, so there'll be more of that to come too. So it's all types of different people. Everyone is into streetwear, but there's like niche groups inside of that all these people are, a part of, you know what I mean? There's like the sneaker community. There's the people who are more focused on like the streetwear aspect of it. But it's like, there's all types of different people here. It's just not like SneakerCon where it's just like sneakerheads, you know what I mean? So it's a little different. You get people who have all types of different styles and things like that. And this is like the best place for it.
On the way to seeing more stuff, Big Sean was giving out Chips Ahoy cookies. I'm gonna be completely honest, I did not realize that this was like Fear of God essentials until like way later, because the essentials in this lockup ended up just looking like it was essentials for the NDA, which may have been the point, I don't know. This is kind of interesting. These things you put in your shoe to make it so that your toe box does not crease. They were doing a contest. A couple of these little things had like numbers on them and you could win prizes. I really don't care about creasing my toe boxes anymore, mainly because one day I tried to avoid it, and so I walked around looking really dumb for an entire day, and then by the end of the day I realized, you know what, I think I'm just gonna wear my sneakers. Now that doesn't mean I disrespect my sneakers. I do clean them a lot. Unfortunately, this fellow didn't win, and I was just carrying way too much stuff to try myself. All right, time for the next brand.
We try to
to the people know more about to our brand, because also we are not from here, we are from Guadalajara, Mexico. So that's very important for us and the Latin people stay right now in ComplexCon.
How long has your brand existed? How old is it?
It's gonna be 2 years in January 15. It's gonna be 2 years.
It looks like really good and established. Like, it's only been 2 years. It looks great.
Thank you. Yeah. For 2 years, I think we do a good job. Try to do step by step, but a good step. So details on our brand and designs and quality. That's the very important of this.
This next booth is made by one Mr. Trinidad James. It's called Homework. Part of the reason it's called Homework is because a lot of the designs have an aspect to it that's very learning based. Like with this, he did a sneaker collaboration with Saucony, which was mostly based on Margaret Wade, the mother of women's college basketball and just a really terrific coach. I got a pair of the gold ones and they're called trophies. I was chatting at the booth and catching up with some folks when all of a sudden 2 Chainz was just like standing there, which is awesome. I've got nothing but positive things to say about Trinidad James. Very nice guy and one of the kindest people that ever worked at Complex. If you've never seen Trinidad James, Matt Welty, and Brendan Dunn in a episode of Full Size Run, you may have missed out on one of the greatest sneaker shows of all time. I love asking people who have a connection to a video game to sign that video game, so I actually brought a copy of GoldenEye with me for that exact reason.
That's how you be legendary. This is legendary.
It's such a good game. But you mentioned it on All Gold Everything.
All Gold Everything based off of this game.
That's amazing.
Because I used to love the Golden Gun so much.
Oh man, Odd Job, Golden Gun, Slappers Only, such a fun game.
Again, I can't say it enough, Trinidad James, great guy. Complex also has a series of panels. Some of them ladder up to Complex original shows like on YouTube, and then other ones just speak to the culture as a whole. I had to go and see the fellas do their thing. I'm not going to spoil any of it for you because you should just go ahead and watch it when it comes out live, but there were a lot of really good moments in this one, and yeah, if you haven't seen it, you should go see it. I'm going to totally skimp on the coverage of this, but there's an entire music portion of this festival. Playboi Carti was there, and then the next day Travis Scott was there, and they both did a great job. But yeah, if you wanted to just see them in concert, the ticket price was actually probably cheaper than it would have been just to see one of them in concert. So yeah, it was a good time. After the concerts end, everybody just heads out, and yeah, they call it a day on ComplexCon. But that doesn't mean there isn't a second day to ComplexCon. Yes, that's right, it is a 2-day festival.
This is day 2 at ComplexCon, and yeah, we're gonna see some more stuff.
Now, if you're going for exclusive drops and you really need to get something, Saturday is the day to go because that's the first day of the convention. If you're looking to just like chill and chat, the better day to go is Sunday because everybody's a little bit more chill and they're just here and they're talking. Vandy the Pink had a pretty good Pokemon collection. I unfortunately missed out on it though. This next brand is one of my favorites. It really overlaps with me being a nerd and me liking well-designed things as well.
My name is Sean. I'm the manager of the San Francisco store, and our brand name is Bates. Our main kind of goal is to give customers a choice between collectible shoes and clothes. So that's our main kind of thing that we do.
I ended up wandering into this Native Instruments tent, which was a lot of fun. Playing with the tools was pretty cool, but really what was fun is the people that worked here. I ended up chatting with this guy that I didn't get the name of for a really long time about the history of Native Instruments and all of the different programs and different hardware that they had coming out. I don't talk about it often, but I grew up DJing and using specifically Tractor, which is a Native Instruments product. I really like a lot of the stuff they do. The fella here made a really great point about how a lot of these different hardware pieces can be very intimidating at first. He said, if you just jump on this thing, you might not know how to use it, but if you spend 20 minutes a day, every day for like 2 months or 3 months, you're gonna know everything about it inside and out. And like most people just give up a little bit too early. But if you just spend that time, you're gonna be an expert at using this, and then you're gonna be able to make whatever you want. And I think persistence is the key in making anything good. So yeah, Native Instruments, they're great. You know what? I'm gonna get back into beat making. I'm gonna suck at first, but at some point, I'm gonna have fun. Now, not everybody knows this about Complex, but it was originally started by Mark Echo. ComplexCon really was kind of his baby. What even less people know is that Mark Echo had a game called Getting Up for the Xbox and PlayStation 2. I ended up bringing my copy, and his team was actually pretty ecstatic that I had this physical copy of the game. His team actually told me that they have this game on Steam, and I had no clue. Apparently, Devolver Digital did the re-release. It was a little chaotic because a lot of people were trying to get time with Mark Echo, but he signed it, which was super nice of him.
Thank you.
By the way, shout out this guy. He let me borrow his marker, and don't worry, I gave it back.
I don't lie. I brought it back. He signed it. Look at that. That's so cool.
This next brand is based off Okinawa, which is crazy to me because my mom is Okinawan. This was just really exciting to see.
Okay. And what's the name of your brand?
Liberty Force.
Okay. And where are you based out of?
Okinawa, Japan.
Okay. And how has ComplexCon been?
日本語で言うと、世界中のファッションが好きな人たちと会えることができるオフ会みたいな感じだと思ってるので、今回もいろんな友達ができて嬉しいです。はい。沖縄には沖縄にしか生息しない動物とか生き物がいっぱいいて、そういう沖縄の動物とか、生き物とか文化とかそういったものを洋服にデザインとして落とし込んでます。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。
Right after talking about my Japanese mother, I jumped on over to the Kids of Immigrants booth, but I went way too late. They were basically out of everything, but they had a really killer set of shoes. These are super cool to look at. If these ever go on the sneaker app, I'm gonna try and get these. But I may or may not be able to. These are some prototype versions of the shoe that we'll never release, but they're neat too. It's always cool to see the design process. If anybody gets an award for best vibes, it's Maya. She was super awesome.
Hi, my name is Maya. My brand's name is Fried Rice, but I rather don't say my brand. I will say, it's our brand. This is definitely not one person's job. It's a whole team. Look at everyone's working their hands off. So yeah, so our brand's name is Fried Rice. We're based in New York City. And what do? I design, I sew, I do stuff. The inspiration is for, it's a fried rice, it's just like, it's a metaphor for the diversity of New York City. And fried rice is about rice. You put rice in the base, right? And then all the ingredients mixing together and stir it up, So for me, the ingredients is all about the creative minds, like music, like painting, or even personality. It's everything. It's everything about being creative. And then that inspires me. Put into the big bowl of rice and stir it up and make fried rice.
What keeps you coming back to ComplexCon?
Because I fucking love ComplexCon. I mean, it's just like, we're now doing commercial, but I just like speak for my truth. It's just like we've been doing this for quite a while. I would say since 2017, and then so what do I love about ComplexCon? It's about the vibe, it's about the energy. It's about like when you actually immerse yourself into this, I'm like, holy shit, this world is awesome. The vibe is great, and you're gonna get the chance to meet a lot of people, and we'll talk about a lot of stuff. We'll talk about life, we'll talk about fashion, we'll talk about music, we'll talk about styling. We just like, that's the best place to be. So that's why we just come back every year, because we love this, And I think whoever watching this should come to check out ComplexCon because it's fucking awesome. I don't know if I can say F word, but okay.
Is there anything about this particular Vegas ComplexCon that's just felt different than any other ComplexCon?
Well, to be completely honest, because we've never done ComplexCon in Vegas before, so I was a little nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I know, regardless of where we're gonna be, the ComplexCon is fucking awesome. But it's just like, it's the first time in Vegas, not in Long Beach. We did Chicago once, and then after that, it's just like Long Beach. So I was a little, nervous. But it's just like, it doesn't matter where we are, because the community is the same. And so to speak, we extend the community. And that's just from that perspective, it's actually surprisingly, I feel good. I feel, this is like the outcome is good. It's awesome. So we love it. I mean, to be completely honest, we look at the people around you and look at everything. That's the vibe. Everyone just living their life, and then that's the moment. Yeah, we love it.
The bonkers thing about ComplexCon is that it's so big that I wandered the floor probably, 50, 60, 70 times back and forth, and I thought I saw everything. But every single time I'd go past the floor, I would see something I clearly did not see on a previous pass, which is extra funny because when I saw everybody else's recap stuff, there was at least 10 things that I was like, I didn't even know that was there. While I was looking through stuff in this booth, I ended up chatting with this guy's dad about digital art for a long period of time. I thought his stuff was neat, so I thought I'd chat with him.
Oh, this ComplexCon has been incredible. We had a specific ComplexCon exclusive drop. We sold out the first day. We tried saving the product so we could have some for day 2, but we had people literally begging us. I was wearing the exclusive shirt, and I had a kid that was begging, and I had to take it off my back to sell it to him. So that's how it's been going, just to say the least. My general inspiration is I want to create a product where people feel the best versions of themselves. I really give people the full max that they can get out of a t-shirt with front, back designs. And when you put on our product, you put on a Sage Garments product, I want you to feel like the freshest, best version of yourself, no matter what kind of day you're having.
This stuff all kind of reminded me of like a really deep fried meme, but I thought they were really cool, so I ended up picking up a shirt.
ComplexCon, day 2. It's ending. People are packing up. I haven't done any shots like this. I always forget to put myself on camera. Anyways, yeah, it's cool ComplexCon. Ooh, stuff's 50% off. Let's see what it is.
ComplexCon is a great time and a perfect place to connect with very creative people. I asked as many people as I could what advice they would give to somebody starting their brand, and I'm going to give you that advice right here.
Be fearless, chase your dreams, pursue it, don't give up, and honestly, it may seem rough, but it's gonna get better. So just never drop the ball in your dreams, because your dreams are absolutely remarkable, and they can exist and coexist with what's going on in your life and the world.
Best advice I would say is it sounds cliche, but really stay true to who you are, especially with fast fashion. It's so easy to get lost in what's trendy.
Your brand identity should be 100% you, and you should be your inner child.
Whether it's good or bad, or different is good regardless. Anything different is always going to stand out, and that catches people's eyes. So please just be different and be you, be authentic. Don't try to don't design anything or make anything with the thought in mind that are people going to like this. You should design something with, I'm gonna like this, and I'm gonna keep working at it till I love it. And if there's genuine love in the product, then the genuine love will follow from the supporters.
自分自身が思っていること、メッセージで伝えたいことを服にデザインに素直に落とし込んで、自分に自信を持って頑張ったら、いつか明るい未来が来ると思います。
Be original, don't copy, be original.
There's a lot of things that influence you, but your thumbprint is the same thing as your personality and your creative mindset. So you can take in different things and do a lot of references, but think really deep about who you are as a person, the things you like, the emotions you feel, the process of how you intake emotions. You're very unique within yourself. So kind of make that, if it's not different, it's not interesting, right?
There are some challenges, but at the same time, if you work your ass off, the outcome, the result will be great.
Make sure it's what you want to do that really you really love it, because it's very hard. It's constant. You have to make new designs and everything. So it's very important. You have to love what you do.
It's good to do stuff alone, but it's way better to do it with others, because you can definitely get quicker by yourself, but you can get a lot further with other people around you, I think.
Slow the process down and learn to really enjoy that process. I took a year to fell in love with that part of it.
Also pricing, have reasonable pricing. When you're first starting off, I say once you get a clientele, then you can go up in pricing. And also quality, you can't give out nothing, half done.
One more. So life's a game. You're dealt a hand of cards, right? Sometimes it's better than others, and you just keep playing the game or else it'll play you. And you just gotta keep playing your hand, and eventually an opportunity will pop up.
Shout out all those fine creative people that gave their time to, just chat with me a little bit about what they were doing here in this world. It's hard to explain what ComplexCon is unless you've really been there. And if you haven't been there, I hope that this video helped explain to you a little more about what it is. This year was extremely inspirational, and I really think I'm going to take a lot of the lessons I learned here to heart. Shout out Neil for the media pass and the entire Complex crew for putting this all together. My only regret is I didn't get a little more time to spend with absolutely everyone.
Is this your first ComplexCon?
In person, yes.
What has been surprising about this ComplexCon?
How big it is and how full it is across about 5 warehouses in one.
And what was your favorite thing you saw at this ComplexCon?
All my friends.
Aw. All right, good job.